Okay, I have a little problem with this motor here, so let's see what it's going to do. Okay, not trying. Okay, so what's our problem with it? Well, the thing's probably got a bad start switch. That would be my guess. Normally, I would just throw this motor away. In the field, I don't have time to fool these things. Can't get parts for them or anything. But this is something I'm doing at home, so I thought I'd take this thing apart. We'll see if we can figure out what has happened to it and if we can get it going again. Here's the motor apart. This is the end bell with the start switch here. I've disconnected these wires, and of course I photographed them so that I can get them back on the right terminals. So let's see if we can figure out what's happening. Looking inside this motor, this is what I found. Now this looks like cement dust to me. Okay, that's probably what got inside the centrifugal switch contacts. So I'm going to blow this out of here, but one of the first things I'm going to do is I want to protect this bearing. So I'm going to put some tape around that bearing so that I don't get any of it inside the bearing itself. Looking at it now, it's made a lot of difference. Now here's a look at these contacts. You can see them right there. Now normally they're like that when the motor's off and they're closed. And then when the motor speeds up, it opens and drops out the start winding. Now what I wanted to demonstrate, and I'm going to show you with a meter, is these things aren't making contact. So when I close them, I don't get a zero reading on my own meter. Now here I'm going to check those contacts with a meter. The leads are good, the meter's good. But when I close these contacts, nothing happens. So they're not making contact in there. And my bet is that cement dust has blocked the contacts. Now I've tried running paper through the contacts and see if I could clean it up there, a little bit of cardboard. Those are standard things I would do. I don't like to use abrasives on this because these are just plated. And if you file them, you'll file right through that plating. But I wasn't getting anywhere, so here's what I did. So I have a disc of 1200 sandpaper, very, very fine. And I thought, well, maybe if I use this and do a light scratching on it, it won't go through the plating. So let's see what happens. I'm not putting very much pressure on this at all. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that and let's see what happens. Okay, it's working every time now. If I am very lucky, I fixed it. And we'll get this thing back together. After a few swear words and so on, I got all the wires back on. Of course, I'm using my camera to be sure I got it right. All I got to do now is get this back on and tighten it up. Okay. Okay, a few more swear words. And I think we're going to be able to get the screws to pull it in the rest of the way. and we'll fire it up and see what happens. Here we are, put all back together, and let's see if it works. Just like downtown. So, do I get another 20 years out of this? Well, I don't know, the last one went almost 40. So, yeah, it is working. I don't know if that switch is going to stay in operation because I did have to use abrasive to clean it, but it is working every time. That's it on this one.